Hello and welcome everyone on my channel, the Garden City Project. My name is Greg Holstein and I'm a landscape architect. In this episode, I'm going to talk about the future of the transportation system and also about the implementation of digitalization in the transportation sector. What effects are going to have the implementation of digitalization on the transportation system as a whole thing, and what are the effects on city development? In my last video, I was talking about the implementation of digitalization in the construction and planning industry, and I was talking especially about BIM and AI. So in this episode, this is kind of related because this is also going to have an effect on the future city development. This is going to have an effect on how cities are planned in the future and how we are going to organize cities to fit for the future transportation system. For this video, I was asking the AI how the changes in the future transportation system are going to happen and how the implementation of digitalization is going to happen in the transportation industry. For this reason, I give you a short overview about this episode. The first thing I was asking the AI was how it sees the future trends in the transportation system. The second thing was the potential impact on future city development. And the third thing I was asking the AI was how the AI itself has an impact on the future development of the transportation system, about the implementation of digitalization in the transportation system. And the fourth part of this video is my personal view. In the end, I will bring some additional aspects which I think are also important to have a look at. So now we are coming to the key trends that the AI sees will happen in the future in the transportation sector. Like the first one is electrification and alternative fuels. This is a point I completely agree with the AI. Like in one of my previous videos, I was telling that for nowadays, for the next few years, it's not possible to completely erase fossil fuels. But in the future, after some years, this will happen anyway because there is no other choice because the fossil fuels are empty at some day, and so we have to find alternatives. And electrification is of course a good thing, and especially in the cities it makes sense to have electric vehicles. On the countryside where you have make longer distances, for now it makes less sense, but we will see in the future the battery technology will be advanced, and from year to year battery technology is getting better. So the electric vehicles will be used in anywhere, but it needs some time. There are a lot of technologies that have to be made better, they have to be invented and optimized, and also the impact on the environment, on the construction of the batteries is nowadays not optimized very much. So it has to get better in the future. The second one is autonomous vehicle, short AVs. AVs are going to make it more efficient, are making the transport system more efficient. But I also doubt that AVs are going to be anywhere. It takes a lot of time to implement them because nowadays we already have AVs, we already have autonomous vehicles, some cars are now able to drive totally autonomously, but there are still a lot of problems with that, and the implementation of that needs time. If we are able to implement autonomous vehicles in cities, we will need much less parking spaces because they can go collect someone, bring someone to one place, collect another one, and so not everyone needs a parking slot in the city when we have autonomous vehicles. But I see there are a lot of difficulties with implementing autonomous vehicles. There are a lot of problems that are not solved yet with autonomous vehicles. There are a lot of challenges we have to face in the future. The third one is shared mobility. Not everyone needs to have his own vehicle. They can share their vehicles with each other, they can share their bikes. It makes sense in some points. I think this only makes sense for like autonomous vehicles. It doesn't make sense to share everything with each other, but it makes sense if we have an autonomous vehicle that it doesn't belong to someone. You don't have to own this vehicle to use it, because it can bring you anywhere, it can bring someone else anywhere. But otherwise, I don't see shared mobility such as a big thing, in my opinion. The fourth is smart transportation infrastructure. Like nowadays, with the implementation of digitalization, it's possible to have smart traffic lights and to have a lot of sensors, how to make the traffic more fluently throughout the city. And this smart infrastructure makes even more sense if we also have like autonomous vehicles, because they can be connected to each other, they can communicate with each other, and they can make the traffic much more fluently. The fifth point is micro-mobility. Nowadays, the electric bike is coming up more and more, and it's getting better and better. And so if you live in a city, or if you don't live far on the countryside, you don't really need a car anymore, because you can have an electric bike, or you can have a normal bike. You also can use e-scooters. Like, this is also a very good example. You see a lot of them in the cities nowadays. And yeah, it makes sense, because they are fast, they are very agile, and they are easy to use. And so this makes a lot of sense, especially for cities. Now we come to the second part, as we see how this changes in the transportation system. What effect are they going to have on the future development of cities? The first point is reduced urban sprawl. And this means that more people will live in the very city center and less people will live in the urban areas. According to the AI, this is not really my opinion. I see it a bit differently, because I think, in my opinion, there are also a lot of benefits to live in the suburbs, because first you can have a bigger house there, because less people want to live there, more people want to live in the city center, so the prices there are much higher, and so in the suburbs you can have more living space for lesser price. It's easier to have a garden there, your own garden, and yeah, especially for me, this is a big benefit. Maybe not everyone sees it like this, but I think it will never happen that everyone wants to live just in the middle, in the city center, and no one wants to live in the suburbs. The suburbs also have some benefits for their citizens. The second one is improved air quality and health. According to the AI, as the transportation is getting cleaner with cleaner energies, like we are not using so much fossil fuels car anymore, and we are using more electric cars, the air will get better, and so the health will get better. But I think this is only one thing that affects this, because a really big effect for the health in a city are the green spaces and the gardens in a city. Yeah, that is also my topic, of course. That's why I'm saying it. Yeah, that's true. But in my opinion, it has a really big effect on health and about life quality if we have a lot of green spaces and we have a lot of gardens. I think it has a bigger effect than if we are using electric cars or fossil fuel cars. But yeah, that's just my opinion. Let me know in the comments if you have another opinion about that. The third point is economic growth and job creation. And yes, of course, there are always, with changements, with the implementation of digitalization in the transportation system, yeah, there are also new jobs created, but there are a lot of old jobs that will vanish. So it's always like, I don't see really this point. I don't think that this is a really important aspect, because I think, yeah, with the digitalization, there will always be new jobs, other jobs will vanish, And yeah, that's just the way it is. Yeah, some people think that all jobs will vanish, but this will definitely not happen because there are always new possibilities to work. The fourth point is accessibility. So like the transportation systems should be accessible for everyone, especially for people in wheelchairs and for other people that are not able to walk, or people that are not able to walk properly or have other health issues. And yes, this makes a lot of sense because, yeah, if you are in a wheelchair, you have much less possibilities than people that can walk properly. And so it would be nice if we create the cities that those people have access to all the transportation system. What is happening in the most countries, I think, at the moment, they are trying to make this accessibility better for people in wheelchairs and for other disabled people. So yeah, this point is true, yeah. The fifth point is environmental sustainability. And yes, this is true a point, because if we switch from fossil fuels to electric vehicles, we will have an impact to make it better for sustainability. But it's not the biggest impact in my opinion, because the biggest impact on our environmental sustainability has the switch to renewable energies. And yeah, this has not directly something to do with the transportation system, only indirectly, because in the future we will have different alternative fuels. We will have electric vehicles and we will probably also have e-fuels. As I told in one of my previous videos, that there is never one solution for a problem. Like there are always different solutions, and these electric vehicles are one part of the solution for environmental sustainability. And yeah, the most important thing about this is renewable energies. Now we are coming to the third chapter. So I was asking the AI what AI has an influence on the future transportation system. And the first aspect here is also autonomous vehicles. So like AI can only have an impact on autonomous vehicle if they exist, like if we implemented them. So, but AI can make autonomous vehicle much better, because they can have AI-driven navigation. It can make navigation much more efficiently. AI algorithms are used for autonomous vehicle to make them more safer and to make them communicating with each other and to make the traffic more fluently. AI makes it also possible that we have like a subscription to a car renting company, and they will bring us like a AI taxi that will bring us anywhere in the city or somewhere else. And yeah, that makes completely sense to me. The second point is traffic management. And yes, AI can have a big impact on traffic management. And this also makes more sense if we have autonomous vehicle. Like AI can control this autonomous vehicle and they can make the traffic much more fluently than it was before. But it doesn't only come to autonomous vehicle, but also it comes to public transport and to trains to make them better. And also AI can predict traffic patterns. In this way can make the traffic better. The third point is smart infrastructure. And yes, as well, as I told you before, like AI will also have a big impact on smart infrastructure. It can make smart infrastructure even more smart and can help us to build those infrastructures smarter, that it fits together better. The fourth point is safety and security. And this is also true because AI can analyze a lot of data from surveillance, and they can analyze how to make things more safe and better for security reasons. And so, yes, AI can also bring a benefit in this aspect. The fifth point is urban planning. And in my opinion, this is the most important aspect, because I'm kind of expert in this area, and for me, I see a lot of benefits that AI can bring in urban planning. It can help analyze data. You can make a lot of simulations with the AI, and you can find out how to make things better, how to make things more efficiently, especially in the urban areas. And this makes a lot of sense to me. For example, with the AI, you can make like simulations of a traffic system in a city, and you can have a lot of analysis how this will work and what we can make better and how can we improve that. And so this makes a lot of sense, yes. So now we are coming to the fourth part of this episode, and here I bring my own opinion about this. And yes, I see a lot of benefits that AI can bring for the future implementation of digitalization in the transportation system. And for the most of these points I was agreeing with, and some points I see not completely as the AI was predicting it, or as the AI thinks there are. But for the most points, I think they are pretty obvious in my opinion. But there are also some things that the AI forgot to mention in my opinion. And one thing that the AI forgot to mention is drones. I think drones will have a big impact on the future transportation system, because already we see drones are used anywhere. They are used in the war, they are used for everything, and in the future they will be used even more, especially for transportation, especially for like delivery, like package delivery will be done by drone for the most part, I predict, for the future. And also taxis, like in the future we will probably have a lot of drones transporting us around the city or around anywhere. And yeah, this is already happening in some countries. So yeah, in my opinion, this is one of the most things, and the AI didn't mention that point. That's a bit surprisingly. And of course, this will also have a big impact on the future city development. Like if we have a lot of drones delivering things, if we have drones that bring us from one place to another, we will probably need less streets, or at least not as much streets as we need today for our current transportation system. And for the cities, this has a really big benefit. Like if we have more place there, we can make like parks and gardens out of the streets. We can bring life quality to cities. This has a really big positive impact in my opinion. And don't understand me wrong, I don't say that there will be no streets anymore in the future city or in the future landscape, because yeah, if you live on the countryside, if you live in the suburbs, streets will still be used, but maybe they will not be as big as they are today sometimes, because if we have like smaller vehicles, if we have like micro-mobilities with e-bikes and stuff like that, we don't need such big streets, and we can use them otherwise for other things. And yeah, this makes absolutely sense in my opinion. So whatever the future brings, how it's gonna happen, there are a lot of possibilities. Will the digitalization be implemented in every part of transportation system, or will there be still a lot of people driving their cars by themselves, or will it be completely autonomous driven cars by the AI? We don't know for sure yet. No one can predict the future. But just let me know in the comment, what do you think about this? What do you think about the transportation system of the future? Are you like living in the city, or living on the countryside, are you using your car, or are you going by bike anywhere, are you using public transport, or are you already using a drone taxi? So this is the end of my video. I hope you liked it. I hope you could enjoy it. If you liked it, just press the like button, leave a comment here and subscribe to my channel. See you next time. Bye.